Alright. I've gotten my dress off. I took my dress off. I sprayed my beautiful, happy Clorox fabric spray everywhere. Just to make sure I'm starting my day nice and fresh. Thankful I had some grapes left over. I bought grapes, a plum, orange, all kinds of fun stuff to be silly and celebrate that birthday of what I now know as the great-grandpa. So that great-grandpa really loved healthy options for everyone. So I brought a lot of healthy things and then just something silly to drink. And well, here I go to start my day. So why do I talk about the work of God? The reality of being a mother judging gods? Because it's fun for children of God to get their little nosy rosies into things. You know, most gods don't appreciate anyone even looking at them. But when you're special, like a child of God, when you're privileged, like a really, really good person, the gods love to listen to your take on things. And so it's kind of fun to egg on children of God and really good people to talk to the gods about their perspective about a lot of things. Or play their hand at judging gods and angels. Because unlike judgmental, gross people, children of God and really good people are just trying to judge something to understand it better or see life better. So it's kind of fun and cool to play games with the children of God like that. You know what? In closing, you know why else I would do such massive, massive things at the rest area. One last time, everybody knows why I would come here and do such massive, massive things in this area. Why else would I come into this area and do such massive, massive things? Why else would I come into this area for all these hours and do such overdone massive things? Climate nightmares. There was some psychic right now that guessed it. Climate nightmares. As of yesterday at about 10 a.m., as of yesterday at about 10 a.m., the monumental problems that this earth has already with climate change and more was starting to set the stage where there'd be too much snow down in the Banning Beaumont areas. Does that create an emergency nightmare for humanity? Well, no, they just play in the snow and enjoy that there's more snow than there's ever been in the areas. But the nightmare that we're worried about in climate change that goes a little bit too far, which was another side project of what we were working on all these hours and why I needed to stay fakely sleeping to focus on what I was doing. The nightmare emergency within climate change like that goes hand in hand with whitewater water. So you know how the whitewater gets a little extreme sometimes and scary. If you let climate change get too weird and out there, that scary whitewater wouldn't just fill up the whole area. It would flood and cause too many nightmares that just no God wants to put up with. So when I am a god in the Palm Springs area, I would probably fix everything from like Banning Beaumont all the way down near Mecca Thermal, because it's my reputation as a dead god of how the area is taken care of. Now, would anybody understand that we're hitting a bad potential? An expert. And an expert would tell you we're having too many weather realities that could easily mix too much and create too much in the area. That same expert could easily tell you that the science and the typical predictability is off, and it always makes people nervous. When predictable, okay, right before it's going to rain a lot and everybody knows it. Right before it's going to snow a lot and everybody knows it. It's a predictable science for experts. That's a comfortable, predictable science that it's going to rain a lot or snow a lot. But it's an area where you're used to it. See, in an area where you're not used to too much snow, too much water, too much, it could flood or cause nightmares. So you have to work really hard as gods to make it like a small flood or a small thing. So it's a lot of water for the animals and it's not too much flooding or nightmare that would scare humans. With this shift in this climate change, it would create too much water and nobody would know what to do. And it would be too much of a nightmare. But how would you prove that today if you weren't God? You would prove that by the climate change overall throughout the United States. And it the climate change throughout the climate change throughout the United States is a typical classic climate change throughout the United States that's predictably hitting and sitting on different areas too much. So when you become an expert, you kind of get good at the ecosystem through a smart people's mentality. When climate change is pressuring and sitting on areas too much, you already know to be worried. When climate change becomes something that just has a pressure and kind of just sits in general, then you're in devastating, mass devastational nightmare fear. Right now, it's a pretty lucky system. It just gets pressury and sits here and there. And that's where you know you need to really, really watch out for those areas a lot more than other areas. So, here we go to work.